Ladies and gentlemen, it is fight week. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, November 15th at Arlington, Texas in Cowboy Stadium. Jerry World, I am hyped for this. I've been waiting for this week for a long time, since March when they announced the fight, and then when they postponed it from July to November 15th. I'm excited. I can't wait for this entire week, really. If you follow me on my social medias, you'll know that I am going to try to break down this whole fight week, and what I mean by that is I'm going to go with a video for this face-to-face, the open workouts, the press conference, and then I'm going to try and make a video on why Jake Paul can win, why Mike Tyson can win, and then make a video with my final predictions. I might pair that with like the weigh-ins or something like that. I'm not really sure. But man, this is a revolutionary thing for boxing coming to Netflix for the very first time. There's going to be so many eyes on this fight. It could be the most watched fight ever. It wouldn't shock me if that was the case, just because Netflix with no pay-per-view, that is a ton of people having access to watching this fight. And even if they're not coming for Jake Paul necessarily, there's going to be a lot of people that are coming to watch Mike Tyson fight. But we're really here for Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. It's about a 15-minute face-to-face. So without further ado, let's get into it.
We're just days away from the biggest boxing event in recent memory. Jake Paul versus Mike
right.
Tyson.
I think it's going to be a huge
Katie
event.
Taylor
like I was
versus
saying earlier.
Amanda Serrano.
This isn't pay-per-view, it's Netflix. And this is MVP's face-to-face.
I'm not sure who this guy is, but he kind of hits on what I said. It's going to be a huge fight for the fact that there's no pay-per-view behind it. It's just simply on Netflix. If you have Netflix, you can watch this fight, and I think it's going to make a ton of people come to this fight. Not come to the fight like actually like in person, but like come watch it. You know what I mean? On Netflix.
Look, to maintain order,
Shake
we're
of
going to
hands.
allow you
Interesting.
guys 45 seconds to answer my question. The opponent has 45 seconds to respond.
This is like a presidential debate.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah,
about
literally.
it.
Jake says what I was thinking. 45 seconds for each fighter to answer the question, and then 45 seconds for the fighter to respond to what the other guy said, which is interesting. It literally is like a presidential election. I'm not sure why they're doing it this way. I guess it just kind of keeps from them interrupting each other, although I think these guys are going to be respectful. Jake loves Mike Tyson to death, and I think Mike Tyson loves Jake, but they're just going to have to put that aside for this week and go to war.
I believe this is going to be great for boxing. I believe I'm going to win.
Jake, why'd you agree to take the fight with Mike?
Man, he's a legend, you know. This is the guy. This is one of the two most famous boxers to ever live, him and Muhammad Ali. This is a dream come true for me. I am inspired by Mike, his story, you know, what he's persevered through. And to be able to fight him and to share the ring with such a legend is a special moment for me, and it's historic. And the fact that we did it with Netflix, it's the biggest fight of the century, and that's what I love.
Yeah, you can see how much more this means to Jake as opposed to what it means to Mike. I think Mike, it means a lot to him to come back to this kind of stage. But it was like a 5-second response from Mike Tyson. He was more so along the lines of like, it'd be great for boxing, and I think I'm going to win. That's simply it. But Jake's going into this detailed response of he loves Mike. He looks up to Mike. It's like a dream come true for him. So that already to me, like I don't want to say it gives Jake an advantage, but it kind of does in a way of where I think Jake just cares more about this fight than Mike Tyson does. Not that Mike doesn't. Obviously, he's training like an animal. But I think there's something that Jake is going to like a desire to win that I don't think Mike might not have. I don't know, especially at his old age.
To be honest, boxing's never seen nothing like this in the history of boxing. Since it began 250 years ago, it's never seen anything like this, and probably never will.
Well, Mike, let me ask you this. What does it say about Mike Tyson?
That's interesting. He said boxing's never seen anything like this. He's kind of right. Like, these are just two totally different people, like from different worlds colliding, but yet they're two of the biggest names in boxing. Mike, an absolute legend from years ago. He still is a legend, but obviously he's just not what he used to be. And then Jake, the up-and-comer, who took the most untraditional way that a fighter could take, becoming a YouTube star first, an internet sensation, and then slowly working his way up the rankings in boxing. And if he beats Mike Tyson, man, that's going to do wonders for his career. Maybe not in the fact of like he's beating a competitor or something like that, but just having a Mike Tyson win on his resume is just like something that he can't really replicate with anybody else.
Jake, same question to you. What does it mean if you knock out a 58-year-old Mike Tyson?
Get tickets to your favorite sports, concerts, and shows with event
Yeah, when it happens, it's going to be a little bittersweet because I have love for him. But at the current moment, we're meant to go to war. He's trying to take the food off my plate. I'm trying to take the food off of his plate. And that's what warriors do.
Right.
But for me, I've dreamt this, manifested it, and it'll be the start of, what has been a 12-year career for me in entertainment and acting and working and all the things I've done now into boxing. This is finally my moment and my time to shine, and I'm going to show the world who the I am, because everyone's doubted me. Everyone's had something to say. Nothing was ever given to me. I've had to work for it all.
the clock's not even going anymore, and they're just letting him answer. Like, why even put it there? That's such a dumb idea. Like, there's no point in putting a clock there if you're just A, gonna let him talk past it, but B, like, why not let him talk past it? Like, he's giving a good answer. Mike's not interrupting him. Like, what's the point?
You said when it does happen.
Yeah.
So you're gonna knock Mike out?
It's already written.
Okay.
Said it's already written. I mean, I don't know. I still don't know who I'm going to pick to win this fight. I've been leaning Jake, but like some of the recent footage from Mike, I don't know. I want to see what plays out throughout all of fight week. With this, I mean, we're not going to get a ton out of this. I think Mike's going to be stoic, cold-hearted, killer, and Jake's going to be confident. That's what we've gotten out of these two with every time they fall ever. Like, we're not going to get much different. Open workouts, I think we're going to get a lot from that.
Now, Mike, a lot of people going to point to your fight with Kevin McBride and say that that's when your skills basically dissipated 20 years ago.
My life has changed since then, and I decided to fight Roy Jones, and that was successful, and now we're fighting.
Yeah. So people shouldn't even bring it up no more?
No, they should bring it up.
Okay.
They should see the difference from there to now.
Gotcha.
He said the Roy Jones fight was successful. I mean, I disagree. You just couldn't take a lot from that. There was clearly some agreement that neither person was going to knock each other out. And Mike, I mean, he looked fine for his age. Yeah, he looked good for his age. Just not what he used to be. Now, is it enough to beat Jake Paul? Maybe. But let's not sit here and pretend like Mike Tyson is what he used to be. Like, let's just not do that.
And in terms of what I've done in those 4 years and the amount I've learned is more than any pro boxer.
I like Jake, but I feel like he's been saying 4 years for a while. Like, in professional boxing, it's been about 5. But, like, he's been boxing for a solid 6.5 years now. Like, if we're really just talking about professionally, I'd say it really started when he got in camp with Shane Mosley for the Anise and Gibb fight. That's when he really started boxing, like, professionally. Like, that Shannon Briggs camp he did with Logan wasn't really professional. And the camp he did with Milton Supreme for the Deji fight was fine. It was just, like, it probably wasn't to a professional boxing level. And also, like, I think Jake was on tour, like, for months leading up to that fight, and he really only trained with Milton for, like, a month and a half, 2 months. So, like, professionally, yes, it started when he started training with Shane Mosley, which was about 5 years ago.
Still, when he posts on his Instagram looking like a killer, hitting the shit out of the mitts, the top 5 comments are, if Jake wins this fight, it's completely rigged. And that used to bother me.
Right.
That used to bother me because I was like, no, I'm working so hard. You can't people see. But now I take it as a compliment because the human peon brain of the 99% can't even comprehend
Can't even get it.
how good I've gotten and what I'm accomplishing in this world.
That's a good way to look at it. Like, you can hate Jake as much as you want for all I care. He doesn't rig fights. It's highly illegal. DAZN would have gone out of business. So would Showtime. And freaking Netflix would not put this fight on if it was rigged. There's just, that's stupid. For people to think that, it's stupid. You can hate Jake. I don't care. Call him cheap for fighting an old Mike Tyson. Say what, I don't care. But, like, saying his fights are rigged is just stupid. It just means that you hate him enough to come up with a fabricated lie to try and discredit him, which is cheap. Like, don't do that. Don't hop on the train of people saying it's rigged. It's not rigged. Hate Jake. Call him cheap for fighting an old Mike Tyson. It doesn't matter. But don't say his fights are rigged, because if you were smart enough, you would know that a company as big as Netflix would not put a fight on like this if they knew it was rigged.
I'm just, activity is great. I had 15 fights in 1 year when I was younger. And I think activity is
my
great. But I'm
gosh.
prepared. I'm just ready to go.
15 fights in 1 year. That's more than a fight a month. That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow. Good grief, Mike. Chill out, dude.
Does a loss to Jake Paul damage your legacy?
Good question. Good question. Because I've got two thoughts about this, but let's see what Mike says.
I don't look at my life as a legacy. Legacy to me means ego. Who cares about my legacy? I'm going to be dead soon one day. But he's not going to win.
What do you say about your legacy?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I get what he's saying. It does and it doesn't. Like, if you are able to separate Mike now from Mike back in his prime, then it doesn't really affect his legacy. You could say that he really did retire 20-something years ago, and then every fight since then, like the Roy Jones one, like this one, are just exhibitions, even though this is going on both of their pro records. But you could look at it as, like, Mike having an amazing career. You can look at BoxRec, and then that last fight being a loss to Jake Paul is crazy to even think about.
If you end up beating Mike Tyson, not just beating Mike Tyson, knocking Mike Tyson out?
Obviously, it would be the biggest moment in all of boxing history on Friday night when I put
probably
this
not
man
the
to
biggest
sleep.
moment
So
in boxing
that is-
history, but
that is pretty dope.
He dreams a lot.
I knew it. They all come true.
This is not going to come true, young man.
Hey, man, I respect your opinion, but it's just my time. The universe know it, the gods know it, I know it, and you're going to know it. Plain and simple.
Okay, for next week, we'll see.
If Mike hits you flush on the chin,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I was about to say, Jake would be lying through his teeth if he said, nah, I don't think it'll affect me. No. Mike Tyson at his age will still hit really hard. Like, of course, Jake is going to be concerned about that, and he knows that. He has a game plan for that. But yeah, boy, if he gets hit clean by Mike in the first round or two, it's going to change the complexity of the fight really quickly.
Now, Mike
Correct.
called you a manufactured killer. How you respond to that?
I would say the deadliest weapon in the world is manufactured. That's a nuke.
I like that.
2024, November 15th, the gods and the universe aligned us to do something magical, and it takes the both of us. But he's had a longer, illustrious career, and I believe by the end of my career, I will reign as the GOAT of this sport.
Now, a lot of people are saying,
Man, he's calling his shot. That's a wild shot to call right there, saying that you're going to be the GOAT right in front of arguably one of the GOATs of boxing. Like, man, say what you want about Jake, but he's got balls on him.
why does Mike Tyson win this fight?
Because I'm Mike Tyson.
Why does Jake Paul win?
Why does Mike Tyson win this fight? Because I'm Mike Tyson. Probably the best answer he could have given. There's no point in him trying to sit here and be like, well, I'm going to do this and this and this. No. He's Mike Tyson. That's a good enough reason for him to say why he thinks he'll win.
This fight?
Because I'm Jake Paul. No. Man, this is just, it's my time. That the gods have showed this to me. I'm going to be faster, stronger, and more elusive. He's not going to know where I'm coming from, and I'm
great imagination.
I'm truly going to show the world that I outboxed Mike Tyson, and that's fucking wild.
You have the most beautiful exoskeleton.
That's a
Wanna watch
pretty
a
fun weekend,
commercial
Gary.
about crabs,
Next
man.
Oh, yes, I got you a gift.
Wait, what?
Thank you very much.
I got you a gift, Mike.
You want a pigeon?
This
Oh
is
my
a
gosh, you got him a
from
pigeon.
Southeast Asia. Very
We
expensive.
know Mike loves his pigeons.
But I wanted you to have this.
Thank you, Jake.
From Southeast Asia. What?
Doesn't
How you
feel
feel about that? Huh? You like Mike's loves pigeon. What do you feel
Yeah,
about that?
dude. It looks like a low budget pedigree. But
We pay thousands of dollars
This
for that.
is an expensive pigeon.
Thousands
I
of
seen
dollars. Yeah, that means it
a
was a cheap
video
pigeon.
of-
Mike's just worried about the pigeon, dude. What's he doing to the? What is he doing to the pigeon?
Handle a pigeon.
you got pigeon flies in your family, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Is it a low budget pigeon? Or
Well, he had no one loves him. He has no band or anything, so he doesn't belong to nobody.
Aw.
well, he belongs to you now.
I'll feed him to my falcon.
So that's food for your falcon?
Yeah.
This is getting interesting.
She
You have to say
literally,
about this
dude.
fight.
So, I mean, that's kind of what I expected from both. Jake is going to be confident as all get out, as he has been for every fight. Mike, on the other hand, just being classic Mike, he doesn't have a ton to say. He's just here to do business and beat Jake. Thank you guys for watching. That is what I like to call a kickoff to Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. We'll see you guys on the next video.